Hey guys, my name is Emily Canters and welcome to my YouTube channel. For my first few videos, I'm going to be doing it on a series on how to live an overall healthy lifestyle. So welcome to the first video and let's talk about sleep. So let's start by defining what sleep actually is. So sleep is the natural state of rest. It is a long period of time where your body doesn't completely shut down, but it takes time to regenerate and create memories for the next day. So now I want to talk about the items that you need to enhance your quality and quantity of your sleep. So I would say the first item that is crucial for a good night rest is either a sleeping mask or blackout curtains. I personally prefer a sleeping mask because I like to sometimes close my curtains in the middle of the day, so I don't want the room to be completely blacked out. So the sleeping mask that I used is called Aromatherapy Sleep Mask, and it's just a website online called Warm Buddy. So it just comes in this cute little package, and then when you take it out, it just comes with the design and a print, and it's super soft. And basically how these sleeping masks are designed is that you can either heat it up before you go to sleep, or you can put it in the freezer for up to an hour, and this can either, if you either fall asleep better with heat or with cool, then it just helps relax your eyes. So basically why I would suggest using this sleep mask is because there are certain cells in your brain, and when you try to go to sleep, when these cells in your brain see light, it blocks out the receptors to be able to tell your brain that you're tired and that it's time to go to bed. So all day we're constantly exposed to light via cell phone, laptop, TV, video games, anything, any kind of light like that. And these lights keep your eyes awake and they keep your brain going. So even a simple alarm clock light, it can actually still wake your brain up, and this will keep your cortisol levels high and your body temperature high, leaving you with either an unrestful sleep, or you can either take hours to fall asleep as well. So the second item that I would suggest is a diffuser. So I love using my diffuser, and I got this one from Sage. I'll bring it up close so you guys can see it. And I love this diffuser because it promotes emotional, physical, and spiritual well-being. And it does so by either the scents that you buy for it. So I have 3 scents that I love and I find the easiest to fall asleep. So we have lavender. This one is Refresh. And this one is Northern Lights. So basically what you do is you fill just a little, I'll show you guys, a little cup of water, and then you can basically put in however many drops you like. I personally like to put about 15 because it really enhances the smell and makes it really strong. And then basically it fills your whole room up with this really calming, like delicious smell. And it just completely relaxes your nervous system and your mind, making it easier for you to fall asleep. So the third item that I always have in my room is some sort of white noise. So you can either get a fan. A lot of people actually use this throughout their entire life, and it's a great relaxation noise. Or there's lots of different apps that generate these all different kinds of noises, such as streams, waterfall, rain, thunder, whatever you find relaxing. Or you can buy a white noise machine, which will again give out those same noises. So what a white noise machine does is it helps relax your entire body. And while you're falling asleep, if you're a person who tends to think about stuff, if you have just a gentle noise in the background, your mind is thinking about this noise, but since it's a restful noise, then it helps you fall asleep a lot quicker. It also helps you fall into a deeper meditation while you're sleeping, which is crucial because if you're not in this deep sleep, then you're not actually getting a full potential of sleep that you could be. And it also clears your mind before you fall asleep, so it leaves you waking up the next day feeling really refreshed, energized, happy, and just ready to go. So the next topic we're going to be talking about is my 4 top things to try your absolute best to avoid before going to bed. These 4 things personally, and from asking people, researching online, doctors have said that these top 4 things really do suffer the quality of sleep you get, plus how easy it is to fall asleep. So the first thing is caffeine. So the actual coffee bean, even though it promotes energy, it's not the reason why you can't fall asleep. It's because when you intake coffee, it blocks off the receptors in your brain that tell you that you feel tired. So it's not necessarily that you're not tired, because you could still be tired laying in bed, but you can't fall asleep because the receptors are completely blocked off, so they can't tell your brain to shut off, which is the most important thing. I would personally suggest not drinking any coffee after 2 p.m. Throughout many research that I've found, and myself, coffee after 2 p.m., the receptors will be awake for hours and leading you into not a restful sleep at all. So the second thing is any screen. So obviously throughout the day, we're going to look at screens, you're on your phone, but a really bad habit that a lot of people get into is going on their phone, like laying in their bed and going on your phone, scrolling through Instagram, scrolling through Facebook, texting, whatever. This completely wakes your brain up. Like it, as we were saying earlier, that light screen, it's confusing your brain because it's now not getting ready for bed, it's waking up, still getting up. So if you cut off screens for about 1 hour before you actually go to sleep, this will kind of remind your brain, okay, there's no LED light, there's none of that rays in my head, and this will remind your brain, okay, we need to start settling down, we need to go to bed. So the third thing that a lot of people will find difficult to maybe stop doing is alcohol. So even though alcohol may help you fall asleep easier, it actually decreases the quality of your sleep tremendously. So later on in this video, I'll talk about sleep cycles, and there's 5 sleep cycles that we go through. And alcohol basically shuts off 2 to 3 of these sleep cycles that you get through your night. And this is why, even though after, maybe you go to the bar, have a lot to drink, come home, pass out, but the next morning you're still so tired, it's not that you didn't sleep enough per se, it's that the quality of your sleep was just awful. And then the 4th thing is exercise. So exercise is one of the most beneficial things you can do for your body. But again, it releases endorphins, which makes you feel happy, alert, awake. So I would recommend, a lot of people go to the gym at night, and that's fine. But I wouldn't say go to the gym and then half an hour later try to go to bed. Your brain simply isn't going to be able to do that because you're wide awake. So the next thing I want to talk about is going to bed and waking up at the same time, yes on the weekends, yes on the weekdays. So basically why I say this is because most people completely avoid this and have a good sleep schedule Monday to Friday, and then when Saturday and Sunday come around, they don't necessarily have as planned of a structure of a day. So this is when people often tend to sleep in, go to bed later, which is actually doing the opposite for your body. So our bodies rely on circadian rhythm. So this rhythm is important because it influences your sleep-wake cycle. There's a hormone release. It generates and helps keep going your digestion, and it also controls your body temperature. So everybody needs this rhythm to be able to function properly and have all of these other things functioning. And when this is forgotten about, then your body actually releases a lot of negative effects. And this is when sleeping disorders come in. So when you go to sleep every day within the hour and wake up every day within the hour, this rhythm is at a really good rate because it's now everything is help flowing, everything is going well, your brain, everything is good. But then even if you disrupt it one day, that entire week of sleep for the rhythm is actually messed up. And it's kind of interesting why and how our brain works like that, but it's just how the receptors work and how everything really is interconnected. And so personally, I find that if you go to bed around 10 p.m. every day and wake up around 6:30 a.m. every day, this is both beneficial for the weekends and your weekdays. I say this because even though on your weekends, waking up at 6:30 may sound really easy, but if you're going to bed at around 10, that's like an 8.5 hour sleep. So when you think about it, on the weekends, you usually like to sleep in until maybe 10, 11, I don't know. And this makes your day a lot more less productive. So it's too bad because so many people kind of like sleep away their weekends. And meanwhile, these are like 2 extra days that you can be so productive and doing so many things and spending more time with your family, going to the gym earlier, getting that homework done like before it hits Sunday night. So yeah, I really just try. And again, this is one of the most forgotten things, but is so important, is to try to go to bed early and wake up early as well. Again, you can have a sleep cycle where you go to bed at, let's say, 1 and you wake up at 10 every day. Even though this is a sleep cycle, you're not actually sleeping during the proper times, and waking up at 11 isn't going to kind of improve your day because it's just setting you back. Like you always hear the most successful people wake up at 5:30 a.m. It's not because of the specific time, but it's because they wake up at 5:30. So they have sometimes 5 hours ahead of a lot of us, and in those 5 hours they can be so productive, they get so much stuff done. So the next thing I want to talk about is sleep cycle. I mentioned it a little bit earlier in the video, and I just kind of want to go more in depth on it now. So basically, a sleep cycle is 90 minutes long, and in the sleep cycle, your body goes through 5 different stages. Typically, an adult should get between 5 to 6 cycles per night. These uninterrupted, of course. So if you're having distractions and the sleep cycle gets interrupted, this actually kind of cuts out that complete cycle, whereas you were never sleeping. So the first sleep cycle is it's called stage 1, and this is when you have light sleep. Your muscle activity slows down. You might feel some light twitching. Sometimes people can feel this. This is like kind of when you're in a half awake, half asleep when you're first going to sleep. And then there's stage 2. And in this stage 2, this is when your breathing pattern begins, your heart rate starts to slow down, and your entire body just kind of embraces the sleep and kind of just lets go. And then there's stage 3, and this is when you're in your deepest sleep, and this is when your brain starts to generate slow delta waves. And then in stage 4, this is even a deeper sleep than stage 3. So this stage is if you've ever been woken up and you feel like when you wake up, just right before when you were sleeping, it was like completely black, like you were just out. This is that stage, and this is when your rhythmic breathing starts and your brain waves produces higher volumes of them. And then stage 5 is rapid eye movement, or REM sleep. And this sleep is the most important sleep, and it's the last 15 minutes of that cycle. And this is why it's so important to try to get exactly, I know it's not really realistic for anybody, but it's really important to try to almost sleep exactly those 5 to 6 sleep cycles. Like pick one or the other, or try to sleep for whatever amount of sleep cycles you want, because each of these stages are so important for the body and your brain. And even just messing up one of these sleep cycles stages, messes up that whole cycle. So yeah. So the last thing I want to talk about is what happens to your body when you don't get enough sleep. So throughout the whole video, we talked about why sleep is so good, how to get a really good sleep. So there actually are a lot of negative effects that happen when you don't get enough sleep. Of course, this isn't that week that you were studying for that chemistry test and you didn't get a lot of sleep. This is when for years or even months, honestly, that you don't get a proper amount of sleep. The first thing is sick. So you'll always kind of feel under the weather. You'll have almost like a cold all of the time. This is what happens more so in like months. And then if you get years of not proper sleep, not getting enough sleep or the proper quality of sleep, you actually are at a higher risk for cancer, diabetes, any type of like sicknesses like that. You're also more prone to weight gain. This is because when you sleep for a long time, your body kind of has time to detoxify and your metabolism kind of gets to get rebooted for the next day. So if you aren't sleeping a lot, this is why you may experience weight gain. And then for nights, let's say that you don't sleep a lot. So I know a lot of people that get really good nights of sleep and then they'll, for some reason, get poor nights of sleep for like 1 or 2 days. And the side effects that will happen the next very day will either be most common memory loss, frustration, and car accidents. So a lot of car accidents actually come from people that just aren't sleeping enough because they're not focusing straight, and that just leads to a disaster. So thank you so much for watching my first video. I know it wasn't the most entertaining per se and like vlog style, but I wanted my first series to kind of just be sit down and really just inform you guys on just straight basic facts. I know a lot of you might think this is brutal. It's honest, that's all it is. But anyways, I hope you guys really enjoyed it. I hope you found it really informative. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and comment something maybe that you learned down below, a video you'd like to see in the future, or what you liked. And don't forget to follow my Instagram. It's Emily_Canters. Thank you. Bye.